Welcome back, everyone. It feels like fall is finally here, and it's officially time to jump into a massive pile of leaves. On that note, though, let's jump into some security tips and news for the month. First off, I want to toss out a reminder early because I'm not sure when next month's newsletter will be out. But every year, right around Black Friday, we see a massive amount of scams as it relates to the best deal around. We haven't heard anything specific, but do look out and be extra cautious around this time of the year. There are usually really good deals, but if it seems too good to be true, make sure to check the validity of the site you're buying from. We can't go a month without talking about AI, so let's get it over with right away. Recently, I was reading an article that warned about making action figures in your own likeness with ChatGPT. Some of the points in there I thought were actually quite good though. As I'm sure most of you know, images have a slew of other data in them other than just being a picture anymore. EXIF, or Exchange Image File Format, stores a slew of other data that is saved with every single picture. Most of the info was designed for photographers to make it easier to remember or replicate a picture with ISO, shutter speed, aperture, and other camera information. As cameras became smarter and, for the most part now, are just cell phones, things like GPS data are stored in there as well now. When you upload a photo to ChatGPT to edit or find something similar or whatever the reason, remember what you're giving the model. It now has any and all items and people in the picture, as well as the time, the date, and the location. At current, OpenAI isn't likely doing anything nefarious with all this data, but it is still good to be aware what you're giving them and to know the full picture around it. Pondering this was an interesting aha for me, so I figured I might share it with you guys to increase your knowledge. If you used the internet at all on Monday, you probably ran into some problem with at least a few common websites, and honestly, some of that trickled into Tuesday. On Monday the 20th, from about 3 a.m. to 5:30, all DNS resolution to Amazon East Coast data center was going unanswered. Because computers aren't smart like humans, they need some help converting our words into numbers or IP addresses. Oddly, that means Amazon was likely online the entire time, but because computers weren't getting the IP addresses from DNS servers, the systems looked entirely down. Events like this prove the vulnerability of how a single point of failure can cause massive issues on the internet. By the time they had started making some resolution early in the morning, there was so much work queued up in the system that it didn't even feel really online even late Monday and even early on Tuesday. Here's hoping that Amazon learns something from this situation and works out a little bit of a backup to make sure that this sort of thing doesn't happen in the future. There's memes on the internet now showing this one-legged tower that sort of rests on Amazon's web services. So let's hope that they get some of that stuff resolved. Hope you've all had a wonderful fall thus far, and now that we're smack dab in the middle of it, make sure to go find a trail out there and go see some nature before the snow falls. We'll see you all in November. Have a great rest of your month.